divinely guided messages for healing of the mind, the body, and the soul. Welcome. You choose. So today's message is going to be about choices and happiness. You choose to be happy or not to be. It's your responsibility. You choose to be happy or not to be. It's a lifelong responsibility. And so this message, I got it when I was very depressed and I was walking around for a long time, and I just wanted to be happy. I want to live a happy life. I want to be happy and I want to have a good life. That was it. And so being isolated from my family and from many people, I was walking with this communication with the divine. And so along the way, the things that I learned about happiness, and this is the message that I got when I was very depressed. I was very tired, sick and tired of life, and I was sick and tired of everything. And then I got the message that you choose to be happy or not to be. It's your responsibility. And I said, okay, if it's my responsibility and I choose to be happy or not to be, then how do I choose that? What do I do? How do I do that? And so eliminating things that make you unfulfilled, eliminating the things that make you feel down, like make you feel less than, eliminating the things that make you feel guilty, eliminating the things that make you feel jealousy, or eliminating the things that make you always trigger you and make you feel angry. So what does that mean? Like then you have to just stay away from everywhere, or just find another place to live, another planet to live on, because you got to stay away from everybody. No, it doesn't mean that. It means that you choose how you respond to things. You can choose where you place your attention. You can choose how much value you put on what happens around you, and you can choose all these things. But the thing is that we haven't been taught this. They don't teach us this in school. They don't teach it at home. They don't know about it. They don't teach it in the world at large. We have not been trained to think for ourselves. We have not been trained to listen to our intuition. We have not been trained in knowing that our inner world is actually very important. We have not been trained to know these things, and so we don't take it into consideration. We just rather keep going, and we keep going, and we don't take really how we feel about the different things into consideration that much. We don't let it guide us too much. We rather find ways that we can cope with it. So if we have a lot of difficult feelings inside of ourselves, we are going to maybe start drinking. I know I did that for a long time. It was terrible. I do not recommend it. Do not recommend it. Then we start smoking, we start taking drugs, we do medication, and society is very helpful in that way. Society will help you really easily, and they will give you medicine that help you cope with these unhealthy feelings of being in the society. So they create the problem, like the culture, the society has created the problem. How we feel, we're not feeling good about ourselves. We're not feeling enriched and full within ourselves. We don't feel like we have like we matter in the big grand scheme of things. Or some people do. They think they are the grand scheme of things, but that's different. So being in the society is not really setting us up for success in happiness and fulfilled living. It is more so setting us up in a let's say just a journey of discovery, which I hope that this is the whole point with these videos, is to talk about things in a way that might help you remember your own soul, that might help you remember your own inside. It might help kickstart those emotions that we have pulled down and put down for so long. And that's my hope, and that's why I keep doing these videos, because I know if you hear it, it'll resonate with your soul deep within yourself. You will resonate with it, and it can free you from so many shackles that we're not even aware that we're carrying all these shackles many times, because we're so used to it. We're used to it, and once you get used to it, you don't even think about it anymore. Now it's just a part of who you are. But it's not really a part of who you are. It's a part of who you have become in this society. And it's a good thing that we can change it, because trying to cope with the reality that we live in is very difficult, because we have created a very bad reality out there, and we're not really treating each other very well either. And so, with all the competition, all the jealousy, everybody feeling like they don't really compare, or they can't. So then you want to make sure that you get. It's just a whole lot of things in the society that we have created it in that way, so that most people are just like miserable and creating our own misery all the time. So the choices that we make, like we're all in this world here together, and we're all under the same sky. We're all living on the same earth. We're all on our own, very own journey through life. I am not encouraging people to go out and be completely selfish and self absorbed and all that, but I am 110% for sure encouraging people to go within yourself and to really, if you have to check out from everything, do it. And just go within yourself and really get to know yourself. And this is where most people turn off the video. You don't want to go in there. There's too much damage there, or not damage, it's just too much uncomfortableness, and we're not used to, we don't know how to deal with it. We don't know how to really yeah, deal with it, live with it, be with it, and accept it. Like, I had to go within. I've been looking at all these parts of myself, and it's okay, we all have them. And it's just like, we don't talk about it because it's not proper. Or the roles that we play, they're not supposed to feel that way. They're not supposed to react that way. If you are a professional, then you better, your ass better be professional. You better show up professionally, and you better be professional, and you better do the right things that role has been assigned. And the role doesn't really have like, well, the role sometimes feels very insecure, and then the role sometimes gets very angry because people are triggering the role. What do the role do then? So we don't have those answers. So it's very confusing, and it can be very difficult to live up to these standards that we have put into place for ourselves. And so this is your encouragement to take back your power in yourself. Like the journey of life, like here we are, you are somewhere on your journey. You have been through a lot. We all have. And you have made many lessons. You have made many discoveries, and you have made many beautiful memories, and probably many not so beautiful memories. And there's a lot of things that goes into just being a human being on planet Earth. And so finding the happiness is definitely, it's doable in any condition, actually. Like any condition, you can find your inner sanctuary. This is the place where nobody can take from you, because it's always yours, and it's always been yours. And so remembering who we are, like the choices that we make in our day to day, like what do you choose? What kind of job have you chosen for yourself? Like what is the expression? How do you express yourself through how, what do you look like? Like how do you want to express yourself? Choices that we make, they can make us feel better, or they can make us feel worse, or they can be choices that we make because the other people do it. So the other people in that role category that I am in, so I identify as a woman, I am this age, I am doing this work. So on those categories, we're supposed to wear this, or you're supposed to speak in this manner, or you're supposed to show up like that, or you're supposed to be, that's how, okay, oh wow, she's doing a really good job with this role. So we're all out here in this like theater, or this like role play out there, playing the different parts. And that's a good thing. We're doing that really well. But this is a reminder that that's not really who you are. And sometimes I know from experience with these people, like in leadership roles and stuff like that, they come out, they are so helpful, they're so friendly, they are so mean on the inside. But you don't see that because they learn how to play the role. And so that's where the disconnect is. And I'm not saying that everybody is mean on the inside or ugly on the inside and then playing the part perfectly out to the world. The world would never know it until you are the one, the victim, and then you get all the side swipes, and you get all this the stuff that this person has been refusing to take responsibility for. These people out there, they refuse to go within. They refuse to take their own responsibility of how they truly feel inside. They might be bitter, they might be suppressed, they might be doing this job and nobody really cares. They don't get the validation, they're entitled, they're just doing all these things. and they walk around on their souls, on their journey through life, and they spew it on you, they spew it on the next ones, because they don't take responsibility for what is going on the inside. So how can you do that? You're on your journey here in life, and it's about recognizing that you are playing roles. I am playing a role. You are playing a role. Everybody that you see is playing a role in the game of life. We all have roles in this life. And so behind the role, there you are. Here's your mind. Probably most of us are very, very occupied with thinking about everything. And so that influences how we feel about everything. And then that's a whole different world that we don't share usually with anybody, probably. And then that's the world on the inside. And so, how can you go in there and make, if you can make that world a beautiful place to be, it's half the battle. Now you can go out there into all kinds of different roles, and you can go anywhere and you'll feel good about it because you have cleaned yourself up on the inside, basically, which means that you have to go in there and you have to really face what happens, like what happens throughout life when we have been suppressed so many times. And then you go along with things that you didn't really want to go along with, but you just went along with it because you had to, because it was in your role. And you couldn't say no. If you said no, you would have maybe been sideswiped or maybe just put to the side. So there are places and things that we don't really have a choice in it if we want that job, or if we want to do this, or if we want to do that. So how do you make like and then it builds up. It builds up on the inside. Now maybe you're carrying resentments to these people who take the power trip on making people do things that they don't want to do. Or maybe it's just a part of the job position that you have to make people do what they got to do. So building up, and it's building up, and it's building up. If you don't do anything about it, you are going to meet this in different people all throughout your life. It will never go away. You will always meet new people who will make you feel similar. This is why it's so important to, if you want to be happy and if you want to live a happy life, you choose to be happy or not to be. It is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to go within and recognize what you are carrying in there. We all carry different things, and it's not a secret. It's not anything to be ashamed of. It's not anything to be fearful of. It's not anything. Like, it's just feelings that are layered up in there. And then if you don't do anything about it, you will never be happy. And that's a simple truth. It's harsh, but it's simple truth. You won't ever find your inner happiness unless you do the inner work. So how do you do the inner work? Well, you got to go in there. You got to get to know yourself again on the inside, being more honest. Sit down. Maybe you can journal about it, like write about it. Okay, so I was encouraged to go within, and here I am sitting here in my own company, and I don't really know what to do. Okay, so then you have a pen and paper, and then or a machine or whatever, however you want to choose to write it. But somewhere you can type it out, and then you just write it out as if you're talking to the divine, or talking to, like, I'm sitting here and I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but I was recommended to go within, and I'm trying to go within. So maybe you can show me, how can I best go within? And then you start noticing what kind of thoughts come up. How do you feel on the inside? How does your body feel? How do you feel? Do you feel tense in certain areas of your body? Do you have like emotions in there that all of a sudden you can feel this resentment, or all of a sudden you can feel this anger? All of a sudden there's the sadness that you always be running from in your day-to-day life. And when it comes up, like, seriously, I using myself as an example, because I've been going through many of these processes. So using myself as an example, sometimes when it comes up, it can be stored memories from way back when, and it's just stored in your body because in the moment you never had a chance to release it. So here you are 20 years later, and now you're sitting here because you're recommended to go within. And you go within, and then you sit there with your pen and your paper, and you write out how you feel. All of a sudden, this emotion can come flushing through you, and you're sitting there, you're doing fine. And you're like, well, I'm feeling pretty okay. And then here you are, like 2 minutes later, and you're bawling like you're like 20 years, like you would have 20 years ago if you could. And so it's about like allowing the disappointments that we've had, allowing the things that we have experienced in our life to be there, and to go through them, and to really feel them, and to allow them to be radical acceptance, and to just allow it to feel it so that you can release it. And I swear to God, it's like doing a spring cleaning, or it's like cleansing up your space inside. All of a sudden you feel clearer because some of that density that was attached to these emotions now left your body. It left you. Now you don't have to carry it anymore, which means also you don't have to attract more of the same. Because once you have it inside of yourself, you're going to attract more of it. It's how it works. It's like magnet. So the more cleaning you do on the inside, the more you get to know yourself. And every time, we all have this stuff going on inside. The more you clean it up, the more you clear it out, the more you feel it out, and the more inner standing you have of yourself, the better you are going to be equipped to deal with any relationship in your life. You're going to be able to deal with any situation in your life. You are going to be able to make better choices for yourself. You're going to be better at choosing things that are good for you, like how you present yourself, who do you choose to be around, where do you want to be, where do you want to place your self, your energy. um, Challenging situations, how do you respond in those challenging situations? I can assure you that if you do not do any of the inner cleaning, you are going to respond with with a lot of stuck up stuff, like the pain body, like they call it, the pain body comes popping out because you didn't deal with it. You still have all these emotions inside, which you don't really know about it because you don't think about it in the day to day. But when something unexpected happens, or if someone trips off your triggers or whatever, here it comes in full glory. Sometimes it's not so very glorious for ourselves. And these experiences, they can make us feel even more like shameful about ourselves. So, wow, I can't believe I did that. Now I feel humiliated, or, stuff like that. And so it adds on. So the sooner you can go inside, do the inner work, and be inner standing of yourself, the better off you're going to be in your own life. It's the way that you will find the true happiness. It is the way that you will find your completion. It's the way that you're going to build wisdom. It's the way that you're going to be able to move through every storm and be okay with it. The choices that you're going to make after you take out your own pain and your own misery, the choices that you're going to make is going to be some of compassion, because now you have understanding, empathy. You will understand the suffering of other people. You will understand maybe why they react and do the stuff that they do, because you have gone through your own cleanup. You are going to be better equipped to make better choices. You are going to be a more kind person. You're going to be more set better boundaries. You're going to be a better leader because you take charge of yourself, how you feel. Now you're going to be able to go out there and be an example for others as well. So it's not a selfish thing. Sometimes it'd be like, well, if you go out there just like, oh, glorify me, like, oh, I am the all that, and just like, oh wow, come here, I am all this, then you really are not. Like, then if you sit down and you go within, you're going to probably find a whole lot of unmet needs that you had maybe as a child. Maybe they never saw you, or maybe you never got love, they never hugged you, they never said you were good, they never praised you, they never had time, they were always at work, or they were always arguing or drinking or doing whatever they needed to do to stuff their stuff down. So here you are later in your life, and now you want everybody to run around and be in a certain way because you don't take care of your own inner self. That's kind of rude if you think about it. And it's everywhere out there. And people don't take responsibility for their inner self. And they won't be happy either. So that's the sad part. They won't be happy, and they won't get the admiration and the uplifting that they really want, that they long for, because they're looking for it in the wrong place. So it's not about going out there and be admired, or go out there and be like, I went to the church and it was so rude. This guy in the church, he was like, oh, so you made a song just so you could be popular and be like that. I'm like, excuse me, like, it's an expression of the soul. It's like art. Music and art has been around for like ever. It's something that God gave me that I'm expressing myself through. And so I don't know what kind of thoughts you have about doing these things, but being an artist is just about trying to emit truth in some kind of way, in some kind of shape, form, or fashion into this world. And so people don't understand it, understand. They don't understand themselves there either. So how can we do that? How can we do that? The choices that we make, we can put ourselves out there. We can go into the world, but not be of the world. You go in there, you interact with people, but you do the inner work. It's like cleansing yourself up. Now you're going to go out there and produce different results or all around you, because your energy is different. You don't carry all that heavy load anymore. Your energy is lighter. You're going to feel better. You're going to be able to, it's just completely a different life. The choices that we make everything in our life is dependent on the choices that we make. So make good choices, be a good choices, like go within. That's the best choice that you can ever make on this planet Earth, I swear to God. And the beautiful light in me, it honors, It loves and it respects the same beautiful light in you. And until next time, namaste.